it go. microphone.
There we go. Now we got a microphone. What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? We better pause that.
You better figure that out.
We fixed it. See, it's that easy. That's how good we are. We can just fix problems like that. We don't need no producer.
Yeah.
But welcome, episode 57?
58.
58. I suck, okay? I'm not going to lie. I was unprepared. But then again, I needed all the overlays from him, which required his username and password. So if we're going to blame anybody on today's performance,
blame him.
It will be my fault. Because, one, I can't kick his ass. He can kick my ass. So it doesn't work out that well. If you guys do hear a bird chirping, please let me know. We do have RTX Voice Hunt. I have the window open just for some cross breeze in here. But it does feel pretty nice.
Yeah,
the new Batcave.
Feels alright. It's weird.
There's not shit on the wall.
Because we have so much more room for activities.
And, the camera looks a little better. We have a little bit better lighting. I think we're still going to upgrade the lighting.
Yeah.
But getting better is for you. I just want to make sure, if you guys are watching from Facebook, Twitch, can you guys do us a big favor so we don't have to have 4 links open and completely bone the bandwidth here, per se, and just say where you're coming from. Say if you're on Facebook, just say hello, so we get your message for you. And always like, subscribe, follow, the button.
Share, comment, thumbs up, heart emojis, all that stuff.
We're handsome. We like you guys. And, we take donations.
Well, so far, we have made about $60 in stars, donations, and, I'm not giving my subs, sorry.
See, I feel like we should do it like Chris Farley, be like, $60. We still live in a van down by the river, and if you don't get that, go watch the SNL skit, because I'm disappointed. So, what's new? What's new in the world of Nictus?
Hello from Nictus Twitch. Thanks, Frustration Core, for tuning in. We appreciate it. What's going on in the world of Nictus? Well, Nictus is trying to put in more streams a week. Nictus is now currently doing shoutouts. So if you are a gamer and I follow you and you want to be shouted out on any of my social media platforms, which I have most of them, just drop me a link, not in chat, just send it to me DM. I've already shouted out a couple of people that I already, I'm pretty big fans of their Instagram pages.
Yeah.
And, that's what's been going on.
Sounds good to me. I mean, I saw some of your posts, and that's actually a really good way. Frustration Corpse, thank you for the 100 biddies. Cancel coach. It's not gonna happen. It just ain't.
Everybody really, really, really liked her post last week. She got a lot of views, and people liked her.
See.
But I let her plug her show, which I think that's still coming out at the end of October, I hope. We'll see.
What? The unexpected?
The unexplainable.
Unexplainable.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Because she needs us. She doesn't know how to work with the equipment like I do.
It's true. She has no idea. But she'll get it. She'll figure it out.
Yeah. But also, Sarah, thank you for the like. Like I said, guys, keep pouring in the love. We appreciate it so much. We do have new opportunities being here, and that's kind of going to lead us into the first topic of the day with the new Batcave. Those two nerds this is our new studio. I would pick up the camera and move it all around, but then that's going to fuck with the lighting, and then I'll have to get angry for the next 10-15 minutes, and that just isn't fun for me.
Are we on episode 57?
No,
it's 58.
It's 58.
Your thing hasn't been updated yet.
No, it's because I probably typed it in 57.
Oh.
Because I suck. We've been over this.
No, we're on 58.
Wait.
We're definitely on 58.
Let's refresh the page. Let's see what happens.
It's
58. Okay, I don't suck. I actually changed. Shout out correctly.
You did it correctly.
But this is the new studio. It's a pretty spacious room. It's no different than like a guest bedroom, but it's definitely bigger. And we definitely did add some shit to the walls, but it still needs painted. We figured to kind of wait on the paint because life has been changing quickly for one nerd. Got a house, got a new puppy, and now coming back to streaming, coming back home to the homeland. So
Yeah, he's talking about doing streaming, and he's not. He's like 2 weeks minimum out from being able to hit the streams again. Realistically,
consistently, probably, but
you got a lot of stuff you got to handle here. Like painting, and
yeah,
it takes time.
I still got a lot of stuff, and I'm one of those people that I'm optimistic. I feel like I can do it in a day, but Rome wasn't built.
I will give you that. Your enthusiasm for your believing in your ability to get more stuff done in a day than you actually can, unbelievable. But at least you set goals, and sometimes you hit them, sometimes you don't.
It's all about the goals. I mean, and if you're not setting goals, what are you really doing? Nothing. But yeah, it's been interesting for sure.
Why ain't you on Avengers, bro? It's so fun.
I'm just not a fan.
Whatever.
It's not that I hate the game. It's just like I know how the game's gonna be for me personally.
It's gonna be like Destiny
It's gonna be like Destiny
with punching.
I know, but like, see, what sucks is like I'm a big fan of streamers like Tim Tatman, Dr. Lupo Courage, and
They're gonna play that game for like 2 weeks and then they're gonna be done.
but they played it.
Yeah.
They played it as a team, and they actually did the multiplayer part of it, and it looked really, really fun, and it was awesome to watch. Like, it was really cool to watch. But I just know like the amount of excitement slash content they're making. I believe definitely some of it is definitely fake, like overreactions, like oh my god, Hog doing a smash. Yeah, it's really cool. Don't get me wrong, but like from a streamer side of it, you're probably going to take like your level of enthusiasm at like a level, we'll say 50%. That's just you playing the game, nobody watching, like you're just hanging out with the boys, drinking some brews or whatever. And then like when you're a streamer and you make the money that they make, it's going to be like 100%. They're going to think it's just crazy. I mean, that's my opinion on it. It's just like I don't want to buy a game of $60, play it for a week, and I'm done with it.
Well, I think that the single player campaign takes between 12 and 20 hours, depending on how terrible you are at it. And I'm pretty bad, so I'm going to be at the 20-hour mark easy because I keep dying a lot, and as I haven't really figured out how to be defensive in the game. Because I mean, you're Iron Man, right? Or you're the Hulk. You're not thinking block. You're thinking
Smash.
Hulk smash. That's
Oh, for sure.
but you can't. So I think that the Destiny style looter shooter, it's not really a shooter.
It's Division.
I actually think that it's more entertaining than the Division.
I agree, and like I said,
Personally.
I watched these streamers play it for multiple hours. I just know how the game's going to work for me, and like I said, this game is getting really, really reviewed heavily in the good category.
It is, but it's not. Like a lot of the reviewers are saying, what they're saying about the game is pretty accurate. It's the single player campaign is awesome. If you want to play the game and only experience the single player, hey, thanks for the share, Maggie. We appreciate it. If you want to do the single player story and the story is really good, it's probably not worth $60. Probably worth 40, but 60. But the story is really good. I'm getting those kind of vibes like I have when I played Spider-Man. It's not as good as Spider-Man, but I care about what's going on in the game.
So you can't even compare a game.
No, I can't.
Like I said,
but the story is very good, and I think that the
for
main
sure.
character that they picked with Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, she's very relatable to a lot of people because she's like a complete and total fangirl over all these characters, and I feel like we ourselves are like fan boys and girls of these characters.
Yeah, I mean for sure, and like I said with Spider-Man, because you brought that game up, which by the way, if you've never played Spider-Man, oh my god, like I could probably sit in Spider-Man and just rope.
Did you
web
finish that yet?
No.
Oh man, you got to turn that on and finish it.
Like I said, just sit there and web swing all day long.
It's so good.
And I mean, it brought me back to my childhood days of where I would just crawl all the way up to the tallest building, like climb all the way up to the tallest building and just like sit there and like gaze over the horizon. Now, obviously on like the PS2 graphics and GameCube, it looks like dog shit. But now it like looks pretty real.
The thing with Spider-Man though is even the DLC is good.
Yeah.
And I don't say that about a lot of games. I feel that the DLC a lot of times is unnecessary, but it's all new story content. It's one new continuous story, and it's going to add an extra 10 to 12 hours of gameplay to the already pretty lengthy story. But the Avengers, like I said, it gave me those feels.
Yeah,
But the Spider-Man story is better. I'm
for
not
sure.
going to even compare it. It's like apples and oranges.
I don't hate on you for it. So
But the what's going to make or break the game, honestly, is the amount of content that they continue to put in the game. Much like Destiny, I felt like a lot of the missions in Destiny were the same. Like
yes,
you get through the main story and it's cool,
and
and
then
then all the team missions feel identical.
I
I feel
agree.
like even your enemies, they don't vary that much.
I agree, especially with the raids and stuff. Like
Yeah.
when the game came out, this is what frustrated me about Destiny 2. Because I love Destiny 1, but now disclaimer on Destiny 1, when I got the game, I got the what was it, the Fallen King, I believe it was. It had a ton of DLC already in it.
Yeah.
So when I got to the max level, I wasn't waiting around for the next raid to come out. When you bought Destiny 2, you were geared enough to go do the raid, but the raid wasn't going to come out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so you basically just gave me a game now for 2 weeks. I can't do anything. And the game just got progressive. It dies fast. Those types of games die quickly. And what helped for Destiny was when Destiny went free to play just not too long ago, maybe 2 3 months ago, Destiny went free to play, all the DLC content, everything. And Destiny 2 has now popped off. I've seen more people playing those games because of it being free.
Yeah, but they jacked up the microtransactions too.
And
And right now,
that's to be expected.
I don't dislike the microtransactions in Marvel. And the reason that I don't dislike them is okay, in a lot of games when you buy a season pass,
Yeah,
you have X amount of time to complete said season pass, and
for
if you
sure.
don't complete it in that amount of
It's
time,
on you.
you feel like you didn't get your money's worth out of the season pass. You know what I mean? I do, especially if you didn't get to play it or something came up and you didn't have time.
Okay, so I agree with that.
In Marvel, though, you have as long as you want.
Okay.
They don't really do season passes, they do hero passes. So the hero pass for any hero that comes out is $10.
Okay.
By the time you complete it, you will have earned the $10 in-game currency back.
I will
So
say
you can go buy another character pack.
every one of them does that. So like with anywhere from Call of Duty to I'm pretty sure Fortnite. Those are like the two main ones that I know. I know Call of Duty does it for sure because, and I get the whole fact of there's sometimes where like maybe you're playing a season really really heavy. Okay, so like you're hammering it out the first like 2 weeks, and then something comes up and you don't play for the rest of the season. You may have gotten 25, 40, or whatever out of 100. I will say this, the season passes have gotten better, and I think a lot of people took from that Fortnite vibe to it because Fortnite made you want to buy the battle pass. Just like this season, Fortnite makes you want to buy the battle pass because I can be Wolverine, I can be Doctor Doom, uh, She-Hulk, Thor, and like all the side missions you get for it are amazing. Like it's hours and hours worth of content. Now, what does suck is, and I think they're going to do it, and they've done it every season, is you won't be able to get these characters again. Now you may be able to buy them later on, but you won't be able to get them again.
Like I said, I feel different because the season passes in a lot of other games, the way to get through the season pass is to earn experience. The easiest way to earn experience is to win.
Win or play games, yeah. Play as many games as possible.
But if you lose or you place low, you don't get as much experience. It's harder to get through the season pass. It just is. What's nice about the character passes in Marvel is they are objective based, specific for each character. So to get like the one objective, it might be you have to kill 15 enemies with this type of attack.
Yeah.
And then we will give you the experience to go to the next bar.
Okay.
And I feel like nothing I saw on it was impossible. Everything seemed completely within reach. That it wasn't. It's time. You got to put the time in. And they're going to sell the little skips too. So if you're impatient and you want to get through it and you don't want to put the time in, you want to play that character right now.
Yeah.
You give them the money and then they will unlock it all for you.
And that's totally fair.
And you don't have to buy every character because honestly, how many people really love Miss Marvel? Probably not as many as that love the Hulk, right?
If we're rating it off the
Not Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. They're different.
Okay, I was about to say if we're rating it off the movie, I'm gonna give it a thumbs down.
No, Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel are different. But is Miss Marvel someone's favorite character out there? Yeah, she's very popular. I think this game is gonna make her more popular. But not everybody likes the Hulk, so they're not going to play the Hulk.
I would love to meet the person that doesn't like the Hulk. The person that doesn't like the Hulk probably doesn't like chocolate chip cookies.
It's also like I think the first DLC character they said that's coming out for free is Hawkeye, but it's not. It's not.
So they added an NPC into the
It's
game.
not. It's not Clint Barton Hawkeye. It's Kate Bishop, the female Hawkeye. Now Clint Barton is coming, but he's not the first Hawkeye. He's going to be the second Hawkeye. But some people don't like Kate Bishop. Some people don't like Clint Barton, so they're not going to level up both of them. They don't care. They want one Hawkeye character, and that's it.
You only get one.
It's like when Captain Marvel comes out. Like you're not a Captain Marvel fan. You're like Captain Marvel blows.
Honestly, I would.
I wouldn't play.
No, I'd probably send a strongly worded letter to Marvel and Disney Studios and be like, "You suck."
But the nice thing is, okay, so basically for your $60, there are 6 characters in the game, and they give you the full character passes for all the characters that are currently in the game. That's pretty much what you're paying for if you look at it that way. So I like it. Is it a 10 out of 10 game? No. But I think that if they introduce enough variation in the enemies, and because right now it's like I'm fighting nothing but robots.
I was gonna say RoboCop.
They're all robots. They're just variations of the same kind of robots, which is fine because that's the storyline. But I want to see some new enemies. I want to see them introduce Doctor Doom. I want to see them introduce Magneto. I want to see them introduce anything that's not just fighting robots.
And like I said, I mean, I think this game has a ton. Oh my god,
It has
it's
potential.
a table. My bad.
It has a lot of potential, but the thing is it won't have any potential if no one buys. Fortunately, a lot of people have bought it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Let's scoot back a little farther so I don't hit my knee up against the table.
It looks like a fucking earthquake happening here.
I'm like, whoa! Everybody's gonna have tremors now. Like it's bad. So like my thing is I think with Marvel, the biggest thing they can do is just keep producing content. I know that's very very tough, but if you want your game to last, you need to produce content. It's the same problem. I mean, you got to think of it of an MMO style. Why does World of Warcraft die as fast? Why does I mean, I don't know much about Elder Scrolls or Star Wars and stuff. It's all about content. Now, don't get me wrong. You cannot produce enough content for the people that play the game 12 hours a day.
You can't.
You can't.
It's impossible.
But for the casual player, they should.
I already saw characters on Marvel's Avengers, and the one guy he had it. He got 72 hours early. His character is already at like max level, like the max power. His guy looks sweet, by the way. He's Hulk, Mr. Fix It with the suit on. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad that you had fun playing the game for like
But
5 days.
but those are the first people. What cracks me up about those people is they're the first people to bitch that there's not enough content in the game. And I'm like, well, let's see here. You played the game for almost 80 hours.
Yeah.
80 hours and logged into the game. Like you can't expect somebody. It's just like with World of Warcraft. People lose interest. I would say probably after 2 months because that's when realistically I would say even the casual gamer hits the new max level.
Yep.
And they do the heroics. They may do the first raid when it comes out. That's about it. That's
their release schedule is catered towards the people who play. I wouldn't say most.
I would say probably 10 hours a week.
They cater to the people who are the most subscribed.
Yeah.
Your diehards are not the ones that have the most subscriptions. It's your casual players. So the guys, the weekend warriors, so to speak.
Exactly.
That's why their release schedule. We didn't release anything. Well, sorry that you guys are amazing and you guys can just burn through content. But we want the other guys to have a chance to get there. You know what I mean?
Because if you would produce content for the grinders, if you would produce it in that way, you would never ever have casual players play your game because they could never catch up. There would be such a large margin of where a good player is versus a person that just plays on the weekend. Where in WoW, yes, you can tell it in some cases, but if I look at your gear and you play almost just as much, you probably have a little bit less gear than what I have. But at the same time, I mean, when I buy WoW, I get max level the first 2 days of it coming out, without a doubt. But I am so frustrated because after that, all it is just, okay, let me heroic dungeon spam for the next.
It's grinding. That's why I feel like if they can continue to add content, especially story content, then I think that they'll be fine. And it's not like they don't have how many years of comic books to pull ideas and inspiration from. So, and we've scratched the surface, right?
Yeah.
We've done nothing but aim. So that's Modoc and the robots and the tech people. There's no Hydra. There's no Red Skull. There's nothing. So
But do you feel like my opinion is this game was really really overhyped?
no, I don't think it was.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
Like I'm saying, a lot of people are hyped for it. Do you think people are disappointed with it? All you do is fight robots?
I think that there's a lot of people who definitely feel that there should be more enemy variation,
Okay.
and I agree with that. Fighting the robots is fine because it fits in with the current single player game.
Okay.
But if it ends up being we only ever fight variations of AIM robots or Doctor Doom robots,
Yeah.
I think people are going to get bored with it real fast.
Like, but you can't blame them. I mean, that's my thing. Like variation, variation, variation. You got to have something. You got to have something that brings people back. I mean, why do games with the short attention span aspect of it do really well? Why does every time a new season comes out in Warzone, Fortnite, anything like that, everybody's like, "Oh my god, guys, we're back!" Like this is,
It's the same.
and it's the same game. You're not changing the game.
It's the same.
You're just giving variation. People love new things in their life. Even though that just last week they were saying this game is hot dog water, it is the worst thing in the world, and you're like, hey, hear me out. I got a new season for you. And we're going to bring back one of your things. And then you're like, oh my God, guys. This season's going to save me from playing Warzone.
I never really understood the appeal of games like Anthem and Destiny. Because for me, I played Destiny, got to the single player game because it was actually interesting. It was cool. I did it for both games, and then that just like running and doing missions repeatedly. And I know that that's what the Avengers is going to be right now, for now. But I got bored with it after I saw all the story missions. I didn't want to just keep running them. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well that was dull.
Well, Anthem was another game, but Destiny,
Anthem was a big steaming pile of turd,
it was,
and
it had,
they should be ashamed of
it,
themselves for
it,
releasing
it was
I'm
listed.
sorry,
It
they
was
should.
listed up here. Like everybody was like, "Oh my
It
god!"
was so hyped, and that's why I stayed away from it because a game that got that hyped from not only the publishers but all of the people that were doing the previews of it and it hyped the fans up. I was like, it can't be that good. It's going to be a steaming pile of trash. And guess what? It was a steaming pile of
And
trash.
anybody, and no offense to the people that actually thought the game was good,
No, there's still people that play it.
but the problem is with that game, you basically Anthem was supposed to be a Destiny competitor. It really was. It's the same type
It
of game.
looks like the same game but worse.
Exactly. It was
I saw from just the previews of it, I was like, oh, they added jetpacks. Like, oh.
I can fly.
And
but
everyone was like, this is gonna be the great.
yeah,
No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's not. I'm sorry for everybody that bought into it and bought the $100 versions and
that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
No.
there's some points.
he says right, he says the gameplay was great, no content. But it was boring. Even the gameplay when they were previewing it looked boring.
I think they could have done a way better job, and it was just like Destiny. Destiny 2 pissed me off a lot because I bought it right when it came out because I was like, this is gonna be a good game. But when I found out that you could reach max level without even leaving the fucking main city, just by doing the just missions that are
Yep.
open, I was like, why would I leave? I'm getting better loot than what my mission's gonna give me.
And I don't die.
I don't die. I have 40 other people beside me doing the same mission.
Yeah.
Like that's what frustrated me. And don't get me wrong, I've seen some people do the raids, and it cracks me up because it makes me think of old classic WoW. And everybody's like, "Did you not fucking read the raid content?"
Sorry, this is my first time I've ever been here, sir.
Yeah, like it cracks me up. But
And that's what I'm curious to see how they're going to handle that kind of content in Marvel. Right now, the boss fights, and there aren't very many. They don't seem that interesting right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've fought Taskmaster, I fought Abomination, but you fight both those guys in the tutorial missions. I think there's only like 6 total bosses in the game. I think you keep refighting Taskmaster and stuff at other points in the game. I want to see what the raid content, because they're gonna have to. They're gonna have probably 6-player raids where you have to like the whole team. You go in and do it.
and that's cool. Like I said, the sky's the limit for Marvel.
It has potential. Right now, for me, on a 10-point scale, just for the single player stuff alone, it's a 7 out of 10. And I would say that if they can add some variation, the multiplayer
This
Could go to an 8
Here's the thing. I think the sky's the limit because I think it's a very kind of it's a hype game just because it is Marvel. It has that Marvel tag to it.
and there's a lot of money put into
There's
it.
a lot of money, but like I said, the sky is the limit where it's kind of this. It's hype because it's Marvel. Because who doesn't like playing superheroes? This is a game you can give to your kids and play. It's probably really hard, but
It's really hard.
they'll pick it up.
I'm terrible, but
Um,
it's pretty hard.
and then produce all this content and just make this game skyrise. Do I think this is going to be the next game? No, but at the same time, it can be the next great thing to play.
But it could be.
It could.
It really, honestly, it just depends on what
They
they do with it.
Yeah.
Because they have the people who bought it, they have the people who are enjoying it, they have the people that said, "F the critics, we're gonna stick with it because we love Marvel," and as long as they deliver, it could be a good game. It could be an amazing game because Destiny 2 is now a great game, and when it launched, it was an okay game.
It's okay. Exactly. Sky's the limit with it. But kind of moving topics. Still,
Let's get on it.
still, kind of sitting there.
Yeah, the little radio controlled car. So like the Mario 35 anniversary. Did you watch the announcements from Nintendo?
I mean, I watched a lot of them.
Oh man! Like, all right, so they got the augmented reality Mario Kart car, and Frustration was texting me. He's like, "Yeah, they got this really lame remote control Mario Kart because it wasn't the Mario Kart game he wanted." I'm like, "I'm totally buying it.
Yeah.
I want it. I don't even care what $400. I'm buying it. I don't know. I think it's $100, but it's cool. So you like set up the little track. It's not even a track. You set these little flags or whatever in your house, and then you drive the car, and the camera shows on your Switch what the car sees, and you physically drive it around.
I saw that. Okay.
It's gonna be cool. Like I'm totally buying that.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be crazy. And like I said, and we'll go to this topic first because we are going to talk about Mario. I forgot that happened this week. And then we'll go to the last topic for the evening. So with Mario came out and basically said, "Hey guys, we're going to give you a whole bunch of Mario games remastered and put onto the Switch, like Sunshine, Galaxy."
Okay, before we talk about all the goods, let's talk about the shitty part. Why does it take them this completely out of the blue random thing? No hype, no build up, no nothing. Just like, surprise, we're going to do this little weird direct that we didn't tell anybody about. And these games that some of them had been rumored about. I mean, there was no hype, right? It's just like, here, let's drop this on a random day of the week.
I like it.
I do, but man. Okay, so that was my only gripe, is that it was kind of like out of the blue. It was completely random. We had no idea that was coming. But I mean, the rumors had been circulating before about the remaster. But now let's go back to the good. Mario Sunshine on the Switch, right? Mario.
We literally were talking about it was the other day.
Mario Galaxy on the Switch.
Yeah.
Mario 64 on the Switch.
Mario,
cool
what is it? Mario 100, where it's battle royale.
I think it's just 35.
That's probably it. But like I said, like
that's cool.
A battle royale where the more you progress in the game, it's kind of like Tetris, where you can basically where in Tetris you give people rows. In this game, you give people more enemies.
Yeah, right? I think it's going to be cool. The only gripe that I heard online a lot, I heard two major gripes. One is that they said themselves that the games are going to be limited, meaning they will be limited productivity. They won't have a ton of them. Well, I mean, they're going to have a lot, but they're not going to have as much as they normally do. And after March 2021, they won't be available to buy. You won't be able to buy it for your Switch. You won't be able to buy it in the eShop. You won't be able to go and get it unless you get it like second market someplace. Which brings up new speculation that they're bringing either N64, Wii, or GameCube stuff to the Nintendo Switch Online platform. And it kind of makes sense if you think about it.
I mean,
why else make this like a limited thing?
So with my thing with this is, if they have any kind of collector's edition for this, I suggest picking it up.
They don't yet. I already pre-ordered the 3D All-Stars, and I pre-ordered the 3D World remake. They're both. I mean, I have 3D World on Wii U.
Yeah,
it's a great game. I love that game, and I think I have all the other Mario games already, but I didn't have Mario 64. I wasn't a fan of 64. I know everyone gives me shit about not liking it, but I liked every other Mario game ever, and I think my biggest thing against Mario 64 was the controller. I hate the N64 boomerang. I hate it. It's terrible. Sorry, I'm a huge Nintendo fan, but my N64, I don't even use the boomerangs. I bought some controllers from Retro Fighters, and I enjoy my N64 so much now.
Yeah, I think this is a good move. I really really do. I think it's a really good move on their part. Out of the blue, out of nowhere, like a Randy Orton RKO. Because here's the thing: it doesn't allow people to get hyped for it, overhype it, and then basically anybody to bash you. They're gonna see this Mario ad and be like, "Oh my!"
It was kind of smart if you think about it, because they're like, guys, Mario 3D All Stars. It's going to come out with all these games that you guys have been whining and begging and telling us to put out on the system. By the way, it's coming out in like 2 weeks because it's coming out on the 18th of September. And I'm going to tell you guys now, pre-order. If you want it, pre-order it. There's scalpers on eBay the day that it was announced that it was a limited thing that are selling copies pre-ordered of the game for $150. But you can still buy it on Amazon and Best Buy and Target and anywhere you want to buy it right now. So just buy it. Please don't give these scalpers your money. So what do you think about the collection? Do you think that it's going to be?
I think it's worth.
You think it's going to be a big deal, or?
I think it's going to be worth it. I think this will be, especially with it being a limited launch. I think it's going to be one of the best things that they've done in a long time, and I think it's going to be something hyped up to where the Switch was. Where when the Switch came out, you can't find a Switch, and it's just like in today's age, you can't find a Switch.
I found one. I could go get one today, but I didn't.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
But one, like they had one.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, this is the best thing. And I think investment wise, like I know this is a shitty thing to say. I think Nintendo's playing off the whole COVID thing, and they're like limited quantity, people locked indoors. Oh, people are gonna play games. We got them.
But again, I still feel that the reason that they made this thing like a limited thing was because they want to. When they do finally launch N64 and GameCube and whatever else they're gonna put on the
Remasters, yeah,
Switch,
yeah.
they're gonna be like, "Hey guys, we got this really cool new game we're dropping on the Switch online," because they have no idea how to handle that right now. They did drop Mario All Stars.
Could
though,
you
for
imagine?
Nintendo?
Could you imagine this though? With something crazy, okay? I'm throwing this idea out here for you, Nintendo, and you take this and run with it, okay? Nintendo 64 games, okay? Old school games, where you used to sit down and play with your buddies. Imagine if you could play them on your Switch with your buddies, like multiplayer, like you always wanted for Nintendo 64.
If they ever get and do the Nintendo, if they ever put the games on the Switch online, like they did with the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, that's exactly what it'll be. And I, the thing that makes me kind of confident that this is probably not a matter of if, but when it's going to happen. One, they haven't really given us any new games for the Switch Online for NES and SNES. They did just give us Mario All Stars. But you guys have never played it. Even if you have played the other ones on the originals, it's like slightly updated graphics. It's a great game.
Yeah.
The second market, that game's still $50-$60. So yeah, play it. It's free if you have the Switch. But it shows that the Switch is capable of playing N64 games. It shows that the Switch is capable of playing Wii games, and it's capable of playing GameCube games. That to me says it's not a matter of if they're going to eventually do this, it's just when.
For sure.
I have nothing negative to say about Mario 3D World. They actually
don't
improved the
either.
frame rate.
I don't
it,
either.
It looks great.
I don't think they're doing a bad thing here. I think this is probably the best thing they've done in a while.
I just question the limited of it. Like, why is it a limited thing? I think that they're going to reveal pretty soon why it's a limited thing when they're like, coming this Christmas, the N64 on the Switch Online is going to happen. They're going to launch with a bunch of games that nobody cares about. But as long as this makes me hopeful because they didn't do anything for the 30th anniversary of Mario or Zelda. They didn't do anything big for the 25th anniversary of Mario or Zelda.
No.
So this being the 35th, Zelda's 35th anniversary is coming up as well. Do you think that we could get an anniversary collection for that?
I think you'll see the same thing. I really do.
What would you? All right. What would you like to see personally on a Zelda anniversary collection? Because normally what they will do is they'll just say Twilight Princess Remastered, give us $60. They don't put them all in one collection for you. They want to charge you free.
No, I think they give you the GameCube one. No, I can't remember which one that was.
Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess
and Wind Waker.
and then they give you oh my god, I mean, I think they give you the old classic one, the old classic one that
Like
was
the OG one.
yeah, the OG.
It's on Nintendo Online already.
Yeah, so but I think they just make it one big bundle, and I don't. You can't, if they do it to Zelda like 35, I'd quit. I'd never buy another Nintendo product.
Here's the thing: if they do Zelda 35 dirty, and they want to break the N64 games and sell them to you individually, and they want to make the GameCube games and sell them to you individually, and they want to take the Wii game and sell it to you individually, and they want to take the whatever else and sell it to you individually, we're gonna buy it, but we're gonna be pissed.
Yes.
It's not hard to put all those things. I don't even care if they have to break it up into two collection. Like here's the classic, everything from the N64 back. Put it on a cartridge. That's volume one, and then do a volume two with all the HD remasters of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Like I'd be okay with that
For sure.
I wouldn't be upset. But are they going to do that? Probably not.
Probably.
They're going to tax us. I do think, however, we will see Breath of the Wild 2 either launch for the 35th or we will finally have like a release date
Release. I think you'll see a preview.
because that would be a pretty good 35th.
That would be. That would make up for it for sure.
Nintendo is not known for bundling stuff together of their properties. They've done it a little bit. I mean, we've got Mario All Stars and stuff. But when it comes to the Zelda franchise, there have only been a couple of exceptions. They were usually like promotional things. They will just tax you for it. They'll just charge you.
You know what Nintendo is also good at?
Not liking money.
Coming to the Switch already. Tom Nook has seen to take over presidential campaigns.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to be a Nintendo Day. Let's talk about this. Let's get this one out of the way.
This is the final topic. This is the OG topic. Because this is going to be an angry one.
I'm angry.
I may not sound angry, but I'm
angry. And normally we don't bring up politics on the show. And you know what? I'm not even going to talk about political affiliations or anything like that. Just note that I am not a Republican or a Democrat. Before we go on with these,
I'm going to vote for Harambe.
if he was on the ballot, I would vote for Harambe because I really think that when Harambe died, it set this chain of events, and now we're in 2020, and it's terrible. So President maybe eventually Biden, the presidential candidate.
Yeah, what do you
Biden.
Call? I mean, he's a senator, right?
I think he's still a politician. Biden. I don't give a shit. That guy's weird and creepy.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
So he is throwing in his hat into the video game arena in a weird way. You can now download official campaign signs for your Animal Crossing New Horizons games in support of presidential candidate Joe Biden and his running mate. I can't remember Harris. I have no problem with her. I think that she's a fine lady. If she was running as the sole Democratic person, I would probably vote for her. No lies. But because she's attached to Biden, I think he's a fucking creep. Sorry.
Yeah. My thing.
But I'm also not going to vote for Trump either because I think he also is a weird creep.
Yeah. I think my opinion on this is there's no point. There really isn't. In my opinion, like I don't get on Animal Crossing to look at people's signs.
It's not a forced thing, which is why I have not completely boycotted Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
KFC was allowed to do their own little promotional thing with it, and I'm fine with that. Other companies have jumped in. Pronounced like the rest, like Kamala Harris. Okay. Like I said, if she was just running as the sole Democratic nominee, she'd get my vote like that. I think that she's got good ideas. I think she's young. I think she's got fresh,
innovative ways.
Yes, she's not these old white rich people who have been from privilege and have no idea what the world is like. She has common sense, and I mean, follow her. Go and look at her policies and stuff, and she makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you make your own decision on it.
So,
but yeah. With the boycotting, or not boycotting yet.
I'm not boycotting.
Yeah,
but politics have absolutely zero reason to be in a game catered towards children.
For sure. I think with Animal Crossing and then
Animal Crossing New Hope isn't even involved. But I guarantee you,
New Hope, New Horizon.
New Horizon. I guarantee you If Trump's campaign people came out and said, "We want to make it in this thing," they would shut him down in some way or make it difficult or so. I guarantee you they would.
There
And that's why I don't think that politicians and celebrities should have their opinions right out there in the open, and corporations shouldn't either.
yeah,
They should be on. If you want to vote for whoever you want to, that's your God given right as an American citizen to vote however you want to vote. But you can't play favoritism.
I just think that in this way, it's like all politics aside, it just doesn't belong in a game.
No, it doesn't.
And again, a game that's catered towards kids. I mean, don't get me wrong. We know those.
We know most of the people playing it aren't little kids.
Exactly.
We know that.
But we know you're playing the
And
game.
guess what? Their campaign people know that as well.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I mean, it's a great game. Do not get me wrong. But it would be no different than take Warzone, for example. And well, up in Warzone in the city, I mean, I know it's not. It doesn't take place. It takes place in Russia, I believe. But like, say it take place in the United States, and like you go in the neighborhoods or something like this, and like there's Trump and Pence signs like all in the thing, and like all this stuff, and you're just like, you have no fucking care for it at all because like
We're not idiots to think that games have not been political or leaning towards a political affiliation in the past, whether they came right out and said it or not.
Yeah.
We're not idiots. We've played lots of games, especially anything having to do with like the Tom Clancy series, and some of the Call of Duty.
Call of Duty's have
the games having to do with war.
yeah, I mean, Call of Duty's done Cold War. I mean, they're doing Cold War right now. They have Richard fucking Nixon in the game, which one, by the way, that's badass. Like he looks really good, and the guy that voiced him, or I don't know what they did. I don't know if they actually used like clips of his actual voice and speeches, but he sounds awesome. I mean, yeah, with war and the fighting, and it's just like Modern Warfare. They try to make Modern Warfare as close to real life tactical battles that go on today. Like this could happen in real life, and people enjoyed it. The campaign was badass, but it also kind of gave you that sickening feeling of holy shit, yeah, this could happen. Like Piccadilly. Piccadilly's a real place. Like when the car bomb blows up in Piccadilly, that could actually happen because guess what? You can go to Piccadilly. It looks just like how the game made it.
My concern was something like this, and again, because it is a completely optional download. It's not like when you load up your system, it automatically downloads.
And
It's not like there's a big banner that says "Vote for Joe Biden."
And then it gives you a Joe Biden commercial like, "I Joe
None
Biden."
of that
and
happens.
I approve this message.
None of that happens. You have to actually purposefully go and look for the code and download it and whatever. But it doesn't belong.
I agree.
I'm sorry. I feel like it doesn't belong. That's my opinion. And the only reason that I'm not upset enough to like basically boycott the game is because it's not a forced thing. They aren't making you have to see it. They're not making you download it.
And I don't think they're dumb. I don't think they're dumb by any means on doing this. But I think because it is optional, I think they were smart about that. Because I promise you, I feel like you would have gotten a lot of flack from both sides. Like, yes, the Biden fans or the people that are voting for him, they were like, "Oh yeah, this is sweet." Obviously, the Trump fans would be like, "Oh, you're trying to mute us," blah 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 blah. Like that's all I get on Facebook and Twitter.
I'm curious. How many actual votes do you think that this is going to get, though?
I'd be curious. That's the stat I'd like to hear.
Because if this is something that becomes successful, people do pay for advertising. People put product placements in stuff all the time. Gaming companies put, new graphics cards and monitors and stuff inside the game. They paid for the advertising, soft drinks and fast food.
I mean, look at Mountain Dew with Halo series and Call of Duties. That's what they did.
But if this becomes a thing that ends up being very successful for them,
yeah.
How long do you think it's going to be before a game company says, "Well, we could take some of that Biden money and put a thing in our game," or we could take some of that Trump money and put a Trump thing in our game?
You want to know something funny? I'm going to be dead serious with you. I think the average gamer does not give a shit.
That's not true. There are a lot of people who are very adamant about this election that are gamers. A lot.
I know, but what I'm saying, take this from a more past election. Like, I would say around the Bush time. Okay, I get it. People were like, everybody's always going to be hateful about their politics. It's always you're wrong, I'm right. Fuck you.
That's why we don't usually talk about politics.
Exactly, because it's you're wrong, I'm right, and it's just a terrible way to look at life. Because guess what? If you can't sit down and listen to somebody else's opinion without sitting there thinking about it, then you're not an intellectual person. Like, you are dumb.
I will say that the best thing that ever happened with Joe Biden are the memes with him and Barack.
Oh, those
Those were the best. Like I still go back and look at those, and those are still great.
because I feel like those were true. They were truly
But
movies. They were truly
that guy is. I'm sorry. He's weird and he's creepy and he sniffs people. And
you don't sniff people.
there's a lot of allegations that he's like a creepo, weirdo, pedophile. And personally, I feel that if you have even small allegations that you might be a pedophile, then you should probably stay as far away from anything geared towards children as you should be.
Didn't that happen in GTA 5? It probably did.
It probably did.
And
And it doesn't belong there.
But I think about it this way, like how many people truly like sit there and obviously if it wasn't for like maybe Twitter or Facebook or something like that, you'd be driving around killing cops in GTA. You don't get fucking billboard. You may pass it.
What's going on, Snosy?
Yeah. I just think that the politics card, if they're gonna saturate it, like if they're gonna run it right in my face, like it'd be like the next time I start up Warzone and the preview screen's like a Donald Trump campaign or like a Biden campaign.
I mean, how long do you think it's going to be if these things continue to happen and if they are successful before that happens? Because money speaks, right? And if they're like, we're going to give you a lot of money,
but you want to be honest with
to
you,
put our ad up on your game.
my thing is these old fucks. We'll go with that answer. Old fucks. They don't think about it that way. I mean, I think
they want to go where the eyes are. I get it.
Exactly. They're more caring about because what they think of gamers, and I think it's don't get me wrong, it is changing. Gamers still are looked at as these lazy people. They're not going to get up.
Most gamers are lazy.
They're not going to get up and go to the polls. That's how they probably think, and okay, whatever.
But games have become a huge industry.
Now, like I said, this is a changing.
They're bigger than movies for the most part. Their budgets are just as big. Some are bigger, and video games aren't just for kids anymore.
No, they're for everybody.
They're people that are in their 30s and 40s, 50s, 60s that are playing games
and saying, "Where we dropping, boys?"
No, I mean, like they're playing games. Like these are people that are in their 60s or pushing 60 grew up in the Atari generation. Like they're still playing games occasionally. If they're not doing it hardcore, they're playing with their kids or they're playing with their grandkids. Well, so it's not just like a little kid hobby anymore. Yeah,
and like I said, the one guy I think that would do it. I can't remember his name.
If Trump wants to put his ad in the brand new Atari system, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But what was it?
That's funny. I like.
So I was on TikTok of all places. Scott.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time on there. You spend more time on there now than you do on.
Apparently, we might have a actual person, that is politician, that is like an actual advocate hardcore gamer. I can't remember his name, and I don't know what party he's with. That doesn't matter to me. Like they were doing an interview with him, and they were like, everybody says you play games a lot, and he's like, yeah, I play StarCraft, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, all these games, and he's like, I've been playing them my whole life. If
you want to get a bulk of people from the ages of 20 to 40 to vote for you, come out and say, yeah, I play Call of Duty.
Anybody wants to add me on Warzone?
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like
that's how you want that demographic. Maybe not you. Maybe your vice president is super cool. And yeah, I have my own guild in Warcraft. People were like, I'm voting for them because they understand the pressures of running a guild.
Yeah. Like, they know how to get shit done. Officers not doing their job, we got to take them out.
They cleared high level content. They were in one of the top ranking guilds on so-and-so server. They know how to organize and make things happen.
Like I said, I think in due time, yes, you'll see games kind of be used for some political stuff to it.
Well, because there's a lot of celebrities now that have kind of like shed the stigma and said, yeah, we game. We're gamers. We're nerds.
But the nice thing, what I can say about this is that you can get your message nowadays across from any platform, anywhere from video games to just the average media, like the standard media that everybody else does, Twitter, TikTok, anything under the sun. It can be used in a good way, and it can also be used in a bad way. Like, obviously, the times that we're going through right now, they suck. They really do. With COVID, police brutality, and so on and so forth.
Thanks, Nosy. It's work in progress.
Yeah.
We hope to eventually, very soon, this wall might be a new color.
Yeah.
With some pretty things on it.
Yeah. But, like, the world we live in is very, very divided right now. But like I said, you can use games and stuff like that to really bring people together. And like, don't get me wrong, everybody's probably been in those Modern Warfare 2 chats where basically people were toxic as shit. And honestly, that's probably why most people have depression nowadays. But like I said,
Let's comment. Yep, any idiot can do a podcast.
that's true.
I mean, look, these two idiots do it,
Every week.
and we have a lot of fun. And actually, some of the stuff we say is pretty clever.
Yeah, but like I said, I think with the world being divided, like you can use advertisement in a good way and a bad way, or you can use some kind of message to help. And don't get me wrong, everybody wants to have that feel good business, but it's also about change at the same time. And I think with the whole Biden thing with Animal Crossing, it's not something hateful because it is something that is optional. You don't have to do it.
When I first saw it, it just completely enraged me. It made me very angry.
But after you did some details on
I
it,
did some research about it, and because it is kind of an optional thing.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
But still,
it
how
enraged
many
you.
registered voters are they actually going to reach? I mean, really?
I know, but here's the thing: if it enraged you, but after you looked at it, it was okay. It was a little bit better.
It made me reaffirm what I talked to you about a few weeks ago. 12 years.
12 years to what? Can't remember what you said.
In 12 years.
Oh yeah, 12 years. I'll be running for president.
We will be running for president.
We haven't decided who's going to be the vice
It
president.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, because
we want to get some nerds up in there, and you know what? We're gonna make some changes in the way things are. Plus, we're not old rich white people, right? Like we've had real jobs and we've had real things we've gone through.
No, we still have real jobs.
And you know what else we don't like? Pedophiles at all.
Since when?
Since forever.
We didn't talk about them before the show.
So if we're gonna probably make our whole campaign about how much we dislike pedophiles.
That's all we're running on. That's the only thing we're going to change. Is like
because
it's a problem.
It's a huge problem. You know what else is a problem? The fact that women cannot leave their houses anymore without having to take all these extra precautions because of someone harassing them, assaulting them, or kidnapping them.
Yeah, traffic.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, dude.
We gotta protect the women. We gotta protect the kids.
Protect the homies.
I'm not talking about the people that can protect themselves. Clearly, they can protect themselves, but
you can't always protect yourself alone. And
there's just too much of this bullshit with this human trafficking and these kids missing and
all the conspiracies.
And whether I don't care if it's true or not. Stats don't lie. A lot of kids go missing every year. No one knows where they went. A lot of people go missing every year.
Yeah, it's a sad world we live in, and like I said, it feels like it's getting worse. And that may just because media is more prevalent.
We're gonna do the first ever Twitch stream from the White House, assuming that Twitch is still around and relevant when that happens.
I wonder. That is actually a really good question. Has there ever been a live stream from the White House?
I mean, they make newscasts there all the
But
time.
like
a Facebook Live
like,
or something. I don't know.
Somebody actually. That's what we need to do. We need to play an actual video game in the White House, like an Oval Office. We won't do shit.
Like, we want you to vote for us when that happens in 12 years. Or
12 years.
Maybe 16. We're not sure. He's not old enough yet.
Depends on what I'm doing at the time. Like
those two nerds for president. That's going to happen.
What would that be? What year would that be? 12 years from now.
You have to be, I think, 35.
So 2032, catch us outside. How about that?
You're not old enough right now. That's the only reason we're not throwing our name in the ballot right now. So that's why we're going to
Do you have to do anything for that? Or can you just throw your name in the ballot?
I think you got to be nominated by your political affiliation.
You have to get signatures. That is true. Because Kanye West had to get signatures.
Yeah.
What are we going to represent? What party? We going third party?
We're going to go... I'm hoping by that time there's more than two parties.
Maybe.
Because I don't really like the way either one of them are, but...
Can we go third party and be
we're
like the
hoping
nerd party?
that we'll have enough money that we make from doing this by then that we can use all those funds to fund our campaign. Because we know it sounds kind of like a joke, but kind of really want to.
But like we could just use our funds that we get from streaming if we ever make it big to like go to something like that.
Yeah, I mean we could, but president.
Maui.
President. I mean you can't really...
I can be the president of Maui.
No. Then I'll run without you. It's fine.
No, I want to be there. I want to be there. Like, let me be your like, so what is it? I almost said Social Security, Secret Service. That's what.
You want to protect
Oh yeah,
Well, then we can run right now.
but I'm not going to take a bullet for you. That's
Well,
what.
then you're not on my staff because I guarantee you I'm gonna have someone shoot at me.
At you?
It's gonna happen.
I don't know. We'll have to find out. All I gotta say is I'm not riding in any cars with you with an open windshield, open roof.
They have bulletproof glass. It'll be fine.
You don't have a bulletproof,
But they're not bazooka proof, you know.
I have to get petitions in every state unless you are a candidate of the party that got more than 5% of the prior election.
It's gonna happen. They're all like, okay, you guys are just. We're gonna do it. I got time to look into it, research it, figure it out.
We got 12 years to figure out our
We
plan.
got 12 years to figure this out. Minimum. You see that logo over there? That DC will sue us as soon as we put that up on the White House?
I don't think they would.
That's what we're going to put that right underneath the American flag.
We're just going to change the American flag.
No, I'm not changing the American flag.
We're changing the whole nation.
If we do that, we definitely ain't getting elected.
We just don't tell them.
The new flag is Beer Coach and Nicta's flag.
Instead of stars, like inside the stars, it's our logo, like in really, really tiny, like almost microscopic, like 50 states,
man.
more like 50 subs.
Dibs on Secretary of Defense. Do we want to let this guy have access to the nukes?
The red button. I think we have access to the nukes.
He's got access to missiles, though.
No, he's got the codes.
He's got the codes.
But we get to press the red.
We'll see.
We'll see.
How about this? First ever Dungeons and Dragons game inside the White House.
That'd be hilarious.
Has that happened? Can anyone state for a fact whether Dungeons and Dragons has ever been
We're never gonna even solve any issues in the world. We're just gonna be like, wow, we played a lot of games in the White House. You guys made a huge mistake.
You guys voted for the wrong people.
And that just goes to show you influence.
At least we're not pedophiles.
I think Mr. Beast could probably run for president.
Who?
Mr. Beast? The dude that does like all those $1 million things, like him and his 4 buddies.
Oh.
Yeah, that dude could probably win.
Yeah, probably.
That dude could definitely probably win.
Well, look at that. I got a vote from Akima. I got probably a vote from Frustration. That's 2 votes. Plus
I'll vote for myself. Is that cheating to like vote for yourself?
No, you're telling me that Trump doesn't go and vote for Trump?
Can you vote for yourself?
Yes, you can vote for yourself. I mean, Biden probably goes and forgets who to vote for.
That's a good question. Can you vote for yourself? I want to look this up.
Why can't you? You still are entitled to a vote.
Can you vote for yourself?
Is your one vote going to matter a lot?
President.
No.
When you run for office, you can vote for yourself.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Can you vote for yourself or at all? When I was young, I was running for president.
As long as you're a registered voter, you can vote for whoever you want. He's actually looking this up right now.
I need to.
Can you vote for yourself? So we got 4 votes for those 2 nerds.
There
you go. Frustration.
And the other, you got candidates are elected directly by popular vote, but the president, vice president, directly by citizen. Blah blah blah. I want to know. This is not giving me my answer.
We just got it through chat. Frustration Core says yes, you can. As long as you're a registered voter, you can vote for whoever you want.
Okay, so
Bill Clinton was running. He went to the poll office. They made a big deal about it because he went and had his the cameras there where it was following him for voting.
Okay, so by the way, oh yeah, Trump. Okay, yeah, you're right. But the requirements, it's only 3 requirements. We don't have to be like a senator or anything.
No, you don't have to be a politician beforehand.
Be at least 35 years old.
Some of the first presidents weren't politicians.
Born in the United States and have resident of the United States for 14 years.
Well, there you go. We just got to get you to the appropriate age. We're in it.
I'm in there like swimwear. But guys, that is all for me.
I got nothing. I wanted to make it official that
we have stated we're coming.
We're bid for president of the United States.
T2N 2032.
Yeah,
dude, that actually sounds really good.
Sounds kind of dope.
All voters get the same ballot, and the name isn't tied to them.
Yeah, you don't sign your name on like I voted for so.
I would. I'd just sign.
It's anonymous.
Be like, Aaron at my wing. That's
so we got like 4, maybe 5 votes right now. That's
something. That's got to be like 5%, right?
That's 5% of our audience at least.
Yeah. All right, but guys, thank you guys all so much for watching T2N 2032. Appreciate it all so much. From the new Batcave, those 2 nerds are out of here. I'm Beer Coach.
I am Nictus.
And we'll see you next week. And I'll be seeing you guys
same bat time, same bat channel.
See you guys. Have a good one.